Big ass hole in log wall. That is a 6-inch diameter hole through a 12.5-inch log. Look at that. Big circle saw. There's the air conditioner unit, the back of it back there. It's not hooked up yet. Used a great big hole saw on my drill, and it had went about 2 inches deep each time, and then I had to chisel out and knock out the chunks and then continue to drill probably like 10 attempts to make it all the way, 10, 11 attempts to make it all the way through. So what you see on either side, see I scribe fit these blocks, and that's the lid. You'll have to see it when it's done, but there'll be a little roof on top of it. And that piece over there attaches to the 6-inch accordion hose that goes to the back of the air conditioner unit. And then I'll be using this leftover sheet metal to fabricate a little flap door on a hinge. So when the air exhaust from the AC blows, it'll allow that little swing trap door to blow open, and then when it stops blowing, it'll just close automatically. So I'll be doing some retrofitting, but those blocks on either side are, as you can see, they're angle cut, and the large 2x12 roof cap sits right on the top and nuzzles right into the chink gap. So if I ever get rainwater, it won't run back behind it, and then I'll caulk that and chink it right to the end, to the sides, make it nice and watertight so there won't be any way for bugs, rodents, or water to make their way in. But I also took the added measure of painting the inside, all that end grain, just to seal off any moisture problems or anything inside the pipe. And I'll probably pack some insulation around that in there as well. So, but I just went ahead and just painted it while I was at it. So I'll show you on the inside real quick. There's the AC unit, the back of it, and you can see the accordion pipe hanging off the back, and that inserts. I have this cardboard here right now just because I as a drop cloth for my painting. So it slides right in. It's on caster wheels, and it just wheels right into the hole perfectly. We did a lot of pre-planning and measuring for it to work out like that. And there you go. So it slides right into that. And the last thing is this condensate line. That's the plug. So I have to drill a hole near the, right at the base of the, or center line of the baseboard with an auger bit. I'll just run that out with like a 1/2-inch auger bit. That'll only take a minute or so. And then I can run a condensate line out the back as well. So I haven't done that yet. But once I get this all situated, then I'll take some measurements on that. That'll just be, you know, that clear flex hose, so it doesn't have to be in the perfect spot. I can kind of orient the flex hose to go out the hole. So that's it. That was a big old hole. Took a So this is a 2x12 pressure treated that was painted the same color, and it's sitting on 4x4 blocks that were scribed to fit and then cut at an angle for pitch. So when it rains, it'll shed and shelter this exhaust. And I already plugged the holes, I just haven't touch-up painted them yet. And I already put foam, white foam in the corners there that I'm gonna chink. And I'll be chinking just a tiny little bit where it meets the chink right there, chinking in this little triangle. And then I'm gonna run a bead of caulk chink right there, so if water hits this log and runs down, it'll hit that and then shed. So it should work out pretty good. So on the inside of it, the plan is I'm gonna get that those steel, heavy gauge steel wool dish pan cleaner pads from the dollar store for rodent control. I'll shove those all around the pipe in there, and the pipe fits really nice and snug. So it's I might even do like just a little bit of insulated material around it, and then fill this void with that steel wool, which rodents cannot chew or nest in or anything. And pretty sure I'm going to do like a little trim block under here that I'll be able to also pack that steel wool around, so nothing can kind of get up underneath here as well. But there, you just heard the fan just turned off. So the last thing will be to fashion like a little block here and a block there that will support a trap door, sheet metal trap door, that from the air pressure is pretty significant. When it blows, if you have a real lightweight aluminum sheathing trap door, it'll flap open is the plan. And then when it's not working, it just closes, and that'll just keep, bugs from trying to get in there, and for hot and cold days for insulation properties. So that cold or hot air won't back its way into the unit. So a little bit more tidying up to do, but it's the bulk of it's pretty much done, and it functions just fine. There's the condensate line where I broke through. There will also be a 4x4 scribed with that curved fit, kind of like these, sideways, that will cover that. And then I'll adapt a P-trap on that. So what'll be nice is I can unhook it from the P-trap, and this tube goes all the way back to the unit. So if I ever have to service the unit, all I have to do is unscrew this and unscrew this, and this pops off of the hose. You can see the hose inside there. And then undo the fitting here, and literally I can roll back the air conditioner unit with the hose attached and the condensate line attached, because it slides through this hole pretty easy. So everything just slides back into the room for servicing. It'll be really simple to service and maintain the unit if I have to get to it without a lot of unbolting and stuff like that. So just 2 screws and probably just a twist fitting of some sort with a P-trap over here. But you can see it's filling up with condensate. See it? Really good. I got it set to like 64 degrees in there to run the heck out of it for a while, just to monitor and see how well the condensate works. But it's been working for a good couple hours. It works fine. I made a louver, flat door, hatch door, whatever you want to call it. And it's where it's on right now. See how it's tilted out? There's the foam I cut a custom piece of white foam board and use a couple of construction screws. There it goes, it's shut off. There, and then it closes. And I had some of these little wooden knobs. I don't even know where I got them, but it's got like a little bag of them in the garage I've had for years. So I just painted those and put them on the end of the little aluminum rod, cable rod. And you can see when I crimped, here I'll open it and you can maybe see it better. You can see how I crimped it over with a center punch, a flat punch. I crimped over the edge of the metal that was already folded over to begin with, and I just closed it around the bar, the little rod. And you can see a few spots where it kind of dimpled. I think it looks neat though. It makes it look a little more hand fashioned. And so I just put those little caps on the end just so they weren't sharp ends, and kind of thought it looked neat anyways. So everything's painted up, and I got just a little bit of work to do. See, I put some foam on the bottom. You can see there's no way for a rodent to get around the top because that foam closed it off, and I put insulation back there behind it. So it's pretty much bug and rodent proof now. Other than the bottom, I just got to do like a little trim under there. So, and there's the condensate line. That's the block of wood that, again, I put a radius circular cut on the back to fit the shape of the log. So that creates a nice flat spot that's down angled, and you see it sloped like a roof because I put it kind of near it and angled it down for watershed as well. And so now I just have to adapt a little mount with a P-trap, and I think I'm going to do a larger diameter so that this hose fits down into it, even though it's fastened here, so that all I got to do is unscrew it, and then the flex pipe will be free to simply pull through the wall when I roll back the air conditioner. If I ever have to service it, it'll be real easy to just snake that right back through again. So real easy maintenance. So I just got to get the PVC fittings and the P-trap, PVC P-trap itself. But it's functioning good now. Right now it's serving as a P-trap as it is. See, and then when it drips, I just have this piece of wood to shed the water. So that's pretty much it. Just a little more trim work on the bottom and the PVC fittings. But yeah, it works pretty good. And see, it's even got a lip. I cut, it had a lip on the end of it, so that kind of forces, when the air hits it, it even opens it a little further and keeps it at a nice angle for when it's raining real hard. There's no way for water to get inside. So a little bit of chinking too, like I mentioned, along the top and the sides. So I put a second coat of paint on the top, so I'm kind of waiting on, I'm going to wait for the paint to dry, and then I'll come back around and do the final caulking and touch-up paint. Here is the condensate line that I'll be painting that little chink caulk gap up there as well. But made it pretty maintenance free. Like I said, I got this 3-screw fitting, PVC fitting, that has a male nipple on the end of it that presses into the clear plastic tubing on the inside, and where the clear plastic tubing exits the first block, I wrap that really good with metal duct tape to seal that off for our value, so I don't get any air leakage or bugs getting in. But then the hole that I drilled for it is larger diameter, internal larger diameter, so when I taped it, it held that tube so that I could then press in the male nipple into it with some waterproof Teflon lube to make it slide in a little bit easier. And then I was able to put the 3 screws in. So in the event that I ever have to really do any kind of maintenance or issues with the air conditioner unit inside, I can just undo these 3 screws and literally pull it off the plastic tube and then slide the air conditioner back, and the tube will just snake right back through the wall. So that made it pretty easy to replace that tube or maintain, you know, if I gotta move the air conditioner to do any kind of work on it or anything, or even replace it or something. It's not a big deal to get that condensate line clear flexible tube out. So, and then I fashion a P-trap. So the water will catch and it angles back up, and then it drips down into this rock. And I kind of wanted to project it away from the wall, so I wasn't making the soil moist up under the foundation right there. So it kind of slopes a little bit once it gets out to this point. So